Hey, good morning. It's the Todd and Erin Morning stream on GetPartDaily.com. All right, so this morning...
That was very dramatic.
The weather's dramatic. It's too early in the morning. You know that.
Should we go to the Morning Mountain Cam, brought to you by our dear friends over at Robert J. DeVry?
Let's go. What you're going to see on the mountain cam is that.
Ooh, it is snowing up
Oh
in
my
the
gosh,
Hills.
half our mountains are gone.
Crap, that means it's snowing up in our house too.
It's snowing at Parley's Canyon.
It's almost May. Why is this happening?
Because this is Utah, and that's what happens.
That's great. We get suck weather for the next 3 days, by the way. Rain, probably snow on Friday. However, on Saturday, things start clearing out, and then by next Thursday, we start seeing like relatively normal temperatures, like 70 degrees again, which would be so nice because this sucks.
Okay, by the way, if anyone comes up to you today and says, well, you know, we need the water...
No, we don't.
Slap them.
Yeah, you have our permission.
Anybody says, well, you know the weather in Utah. If you don't like it, wait 5 minutes, smack them.
That's, my mom says that. You can't smack my mom.
Not this time.
Not this time.
All
All right,
right.
I'm a little upset about last night. I have to admit, I'm very angry. Dancing with the Stars. Okay, Heather Morris and Maxim got a perfect score. They got a 40. This was the girl bands versus boy bands night. A 40. A 40. And they got axed. They were eliminated from the competition, and I'm like, but they just got a 40. So everyone's really ticked off, and Twitter is on fire this morning. People are bitter. People are angry.
How do you get a perfect score and lose?
I don't understand that either.
Personality thing.
Tom Bergeron probably has that smooth voice of his and got it all figured out, but for the rest of us, we think it's wrong. I'm sorry. I'm really
You
mad
feel better
about it.
now?
Oh, I hate injustice. I'm sorry. I felt like it was wrong.
What's missing?
Your computer. Don't you have an insidious plan with your laptop, though?
I'm working on it. But last night I was working on my computer. Are you going to tell him or am I? Okay, I'll tell you.
No, it's not. I'm not. It's not mean. It's just funny. That's all.
So, it was late. I was probably overserved. I wasn't wearing my glasses. And I'm typing on the computer and I actually call Erin, and I something was weird on the screen. There was like this yellow box, and it wasn't like this. It was like sideways, and it was kind of translucent. And I remember calling Erin from the other room. I said, Erin, come here. Have you ever seen like this? And I looked at it, and I go, that even looks like my handwriting.
So I walked in the room to see what was going on. He had a sticky note on his monitor screen with some of his handwriting on it. And he thought his computer had somehow gone mad.
That sounds meaner than I thought it was going to sound.
I'm sorry. It's a terrible thing.
If this keeps up, next Easter I can hide my own Easter eggs and not find them.
See, surprise!
Right? And you meet new friends every day.
See, it'll be awesome. All right.
Okay.
We should probably go to Daisy in the Get Part Daily newsroom. There's some really interesting things that happen overnight that I think you're going to like. First of all, brought to you by Columbus Travel. Columbus Travel, having their huge April sale. You can save up to hundreds of dollars on your vacations if you book through the month of April. Just go to columbusvacations.com. Also by our friends at Executive Transportation. It is white glove California style service at Utah affordable prices, and by all Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Whatever you've managed to break, John can fix it for you. Just check them out at allutahplumbing.com. Daisy, what's going on today?
Hello everyone, here's what's making news on GetPartDaily.com. Salt Lake City police are investigating an early morning stabbing near the Motel 6 at 1950 West North Temple Street. Officers on scene told Gebhardt Daily a man was attacked with a broken whiskey bottle after an argument broke out in a business parking lot next door. The injured man suffered severe lacerations to his arms, but is expected to make a full recovery. The suspect ran from the scene and is being sought by police. Authorities have released the name of the Salt Lake City woman who drowned in Tanner Park trying to save her dogs from Parley's Creek Sunday. Police say 58-year-old Ludmilla Feldman jumped into the freezing waters to pull her dogs to safety but was swept away by the fast-moving currents. She was pulled from the creek by a Good Samaritan but did not survive. And now it appears that Dr. Mary Beckerly will be reinstated as director and CEO of the Huntsman Cancer Institute. That's according to the Deseret News. Beckerly was abruptly fired last week by the University of Utah, leading to a storm of criticism, including protests by a legion of Huntsman cancer researchers. Huntsman founder John Huntsman Sr. has demanded Beckerly be returned to her post. He's also calling for the firing of U of U President David Pershing and Dr. Vivian Lee, the senior Senior Vice President of Health Sciences. A decision on Beckley is expected after meeting with the university's Board of Trustees Tuesday. And now a quick look at today's forecast, where we can expect more showers under partly cloudy skies. Highs today and the remainder of the week will be in the mid to low 50s. That's it for now. More headlines 24/7 on GephardtDaily.com.
All right, so if you want, it's got to be sunny someplace, right?
I know. Snow
Columbus-
on Friday.
Columbus Travel can get you away and put you someplace. Larry came in, Larry
Galwick's the getaway guru, and he was taunting us with all of these stories about these incredible hotel stays you can do. There's this brand new hotel in Mexico where they have infinity pools off the deck of every single room. To me, that's like, are you kidding? I would die for that. I would absolutely die. And this is an all-inclusive gourmet vacation, including everything like round trip to the airport and tips. You literally don't have to do anything. They probably would pick you up and hand feed you if you wanted them to. And you can save hundreds of dollars by booking through Columbus Travel. They've actually found that when you're trying to do a package, if you're trying to go for a cheap airfare, that's one thing. But if you're trying to do hotel and airfare and all these things together, you can save up to $450. That is an independent survey if you use a good travels agency.
You can't do that on the internet and just pick one thing at a time.
Yeah, it
anyway,
doesn't work that way.
give them a call. Go look at them.
Yeah, go to columbusvacations.com for more information.
You know, on a day like today, you look outside and we're getting all this water, and the water's cleaning the air, and the air is really clean after storms like this, and we see this with snowstorms during the winter. But the Science March...
Yeah, at the Science March, they were talking about the fact that the American Lung Association just gave us an F. That is all year round, an F for air quality. And if you take a look at the dramatic spike in allergies and asthma and all the different things that are hitting our kids, this isn't a big surprise to us. We all know this. But
so we talked to some people up there, the smart people,
at
about
the March for Science on Saturday, and this is what they said.
How would you describe Utah's air?
Awful. I moved here in 1985, and by 1996 I had asthma.
I wasn't surprised at all to find out that Utah got an F for air quality from the American Lung Association.
We all know it can be pretty poor when we can smell it, when kids are unable to go play out and outside during recess. It's clear that we have some work to do on that front.
We have a big problem with the inversion, not only for those who suffer from asthma or our older people who have a hard time when it comes to the inversion is here for 3 or 4 days, but also because of the dampening that it puts on the city and the valley as a whole, that people know about our inversions, that they fear it, that they don't want to move here, that they don't want to put their businesses in a place where people are going to be suffering from the negative aspects of air pollution.
This is unhealthy for children, it's unhealthy for adults. We have a high number of patients getting diagnosed with lung cancer that have never smoked a cigarette in their life, So even though we have these healthy values about not smoking in Utah, we still have the consequences of bad air.
Okay, it's really scary to see those kind of scenes and realize just how bad the air is here. I was talking to a good girlfriend of mine in Minneapolis, and she was saying, but you guys, you're such a clean city. I bet it's beautiful there. And I'm like, no, we have totally suck air quality. And she couldn't believe it. And I think a lot of people, because our vision is that we're this beautiful, clean state, and we're outdoorsy, and we hike, and we love the outdoors and nature. We do. We're just coughing up a lung while we do it. That's why we're kind of taking this on as our pet project on the Todd and Erin Morning stream. We call it Clearing the Air. We were talking to the president of the Utah Physicians for a Healthy Environment. That's Dr. Brian Munch. And everything you've heard, all the worst statistics, they are absolutely correct. So we had a chat with him.
First off, there's no safe level of air pollution. Even when the air looks clean, there's still a little bit of air pollution that you can't see. And we know from large epidemiologic studies that even a little bit of air pollution is doing some harm. Mm-hmm. Virtually everyone's affected, whether or not they have symptoms. In other words, most of the people don't have asthma. Most of the people don't have coronary artery disease. They don't get angina or chest pain when the air's bad. But just because you don't have symptoms doesn't mean some harm isn't being done. Another common misconception is that, well, our average air pollution isn't bad, so that it really is wrong to focus on our inversions. Well, averages don't tell the whole story. Mm-hmm. And thousands of medical studies have been published on what air pollution does to public health. And many of those demonstrate that, in fact, short-term, brief spikes in air pollution can have long-term consequences. We should not take false comfort in the idea that our average air pollution is typical of major cities, and our average is. But that doesn't mean that our inversions by themselves aren't having significant impact on public health long-term into the future.
You know, the saddest part about this is that one of Todd's happiest things about our house is we have 3 fireplaces, and I know how much you love.
Really gonna bring this up?
No, it's not a
Really?
bad thing. We all love a crackling wood fire, and you and Zoe make hot dogs in the fireplace.
I grew up in Maine and stuff.
Yeah, those days are over, babe. No more wood fires for a long time. We got a gas one in the other room.
Who's got the best air in the world?
I have no idea.
Because I'll go there and have fires.
That's a nice spiteful attitude. Okay,
Nice.
Let's go to the break. Coming right back after this, though, it's called...
Yeah, the guy services rendered and they won't take his check. What's that about?
All right.
It's next.
Merit Medical. Why work for fast food wages when you can start at Merit for a whole lot more? Merit Medical. Great products, great people, a great company. Learn more at merit.com/careers. The law offices of Robert J. DeBry and Associates, with offices in Salt Lake City, Sandy City, and St. George. Check them out at robertdebry.com.
The Todd and Erin Morning stream is actually available anytime at gephardaily.com. Just click on the Todd and Erin page.
All right, so...
Now explain this to me.
I have a question. Okay. You're writing out a check. Remember that when you wrote out checks, and maybe you do it now just billing and paying bills at home and you send it out, but usually not at the supermarket. So have you ever put something in the memo line?
Yeah, of course.
What kind of stuff do you
Like I do it for charity. If I'm writing a check for charity or something, I'll write it so I can remember what it was. Or for babysitters, I'll write their hours on the check line just so I remember.
Guy in Montana had a different take on this. Had to pay his property tax.
Okay.
$746.
Oh, that's a killer. Yeah.
Evidently, he has a sense of humor, and on the memo line, he just wrote "services rendered." Now, in some people, that's a sexual thing, right?
Yeah.
But you could take it any way.
Well, no, it traditionally does. It traditionally does mean the sexual thing. Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't cash it.
Because of the memo line?
Just the memo. I can think of. I've actually done that. Yeah.
Have you? You suck.
I have. And you always hear the stories where the guys get really ticked off and they're going to pay their entire bill with pennies, which is not legal.
And I feel really sorry for the clerks. It's not their fault.
And
They didn't do this to you.
You can't do it. It's illegal.
Really?
To do that.
Well, that takes all the fun out of it.
I know, right? So anyway, he said...
services rendered.
Services rendered, and the county had all this trouble with it, and it's like $748, and it's like cash the dang check, move on.
And now he's being all stubborn, and he won't write another check, right? Because he thought it was funny, and now they're being all jerks about it, so he's like, fine, man, I'll totally be a jerk too.
He got a lawyer, and he says it's freedom of speech.
Really?
Right?
He got an attorney for...
I don't know who's...
For a property tax
Who's
check.
sillier? The county or...
I'll show you, man. No, I'll show you.
And they
I'll
say,
show you
okay,
more.
give us a check back. And they went, we can't find it. True story.
No way.
Yeah, it says, if they had guns, they'd accidentally shoot themselves. It's that kind of group.
All right, so we got to meet a really idiosyncratic and joyful character named, get this, March Whitlock. If that is not a name for like a Marlboro Man commercial or like a romance novel, March Whitlock. But he's been a limo driver and a taxi driver for so long. He is the owner of Executive Transportation that we call him to basically just take us to like Smiths and come back because we really just like riding in his big fancy Escalades. But he started telling us stories about some of the people that he's gotten to know over the years, and they're epic.
So what are we calling this?
Today we proudly issue another edition of Tales from the Front Seat. Have a listen.
Now, I know you'll never tell us which celebrity because you don't do that, although it kills me inside. But you do have one epic celebrity story.
Oh, absolutely.
Who was it?
No, did you not just hear what she just said?
Yeah, I did.
Are you going to let him at least tell
I was
the
not
story?
going to pay attention. First of all, let's find out who was it.
Do you want me to hit him for you so you don't have to
Yes,
pick your hand off the
Right
wheel?
after you tell me who was it. Okay, you can't tell us.
All right, so back to it. Tell us about what he or she was like.
You can tell us boy or girl.
Yeah, it was a guy.
It was a guy.
And what were you doing with him?
We're halfway there from knowing.
Oh, yeah.
So we did a lot of stuff. He came out here and he was staying at Sundance.
Right.
And he was out here to ski and have some fun with his friends.
Right.
And then he wanted to go up to Park City and look for some houses. So he's looking.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, right.
Right.
So he wanted a cheap house, like a one-bedroom apartment style house for like $500,000 or so.
Up in Park City, that probably is considered
So you
cheap.
can just,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so he asked me to, do some research for him, come up with a few places, come up with a few agents he could talk to.
So you did that. You
Yeah.
always do stuff like that.
Right, and we got that done for him, and then we did the transportation. We were with him all day.
When he came up to the car and stuff, and you opened the door for him, you said, "Welcome, Mr." What was the?
Stop it. So you were telling me that the ways this is apparently someone fairly recognizable, but you're saying
Yes.
the ways he made himself incognito were like,
Oh yeah, what?
Very
Creative?
unique. Yeah, very creative. So he uses credit cards and stuff that aren't in his name because he has all these company stuff.
I've been doing that for years. All right,
so he fattens up when he's not actually filming, so it's harder to recognize him. It's not completely harder, but a little bit harder.
that's like Janet Jackson. She does that too.
Right.
I don't blame her.
He changes his voice a little bit, so you can sometimes get glimpses of who he is, but he generally changes his voice so it's not as easily recognizable.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right.
So he'll talk to people, and they might recognize him. They'll say, "Are you this person?" And he'll say no. And then in the next breath, he'll change into one of his known characters and then tell them something and just obviously give it away while having just said, "No, I'm not."
So you're driving off and they're pointing, going, "That is too. I knew that was him."
No, they actually say, "Hey, that is," and they fill in the blank with the name. Go ahead.
Yes.
That's so funny.
Fill in the blank. With
Yep.
No, okay, it's not going to work. Okay.
You gotta stop this. That's so funny. So what was he like besides celebrity?
Fun, energetic, just, he wanted to get out and have fun. He didn't want to just stay in his hotel room.
Right.
Because most celebrities really don't want to get out and,
Right.
and be
He
amongst
wanted to
actual
be out.
people. you
Yeah,
know?
he wanted to be out. He wanted to be doing things. We walked around the mall for like an hour of all things.
Really?
Yeah, walked around the mall looking at stuff. He wanted to get a couple of gifts for some people.
Because everyone likes Hot Topic.
So he was out. He was really out there, really doing stuff. When people did recognize him, he'd talk to them a little bit, not much.
Right.
Usually just enough to throw them off his scent, so that way he could then go about doing whatever else he was doing.
Funny.
But he changes himself enough by just literally just getting fat. He's just fat.
So that changes his appearance quite a bit when he gets heavier.
To where it's a lot harder to recognize who he is, and he says he does it on purpose. Then
Until he has a movie role.
right, and then he'll slim right back up, and he looks like his normal self.
So that explains.
That's really
That's what
interesting,
I'm
isn't it?
working on right
Oh,
now.
for sure, honey.
Except I don't have a movie role
Yeah,
ever.
okay.
Ever.
So celebrities sometimes are notoriously cheap tippers. A generous tipper or a cheap tipper?
Oh, very generous. In fact, he used my services a lot more than he needed to.
Right.
Just because it felt to me like he was doing it because he liked me enough. He wanted to, contribute to my company, and he felt it was a good way to do that.
Fun.
That's really nice.
So what was the tip?
It was about $200 a day, and I didn't do anywhere near as much work with him. So for the amount that I did with him, it was actually for the amount of work I did, it was a lot of tip.
Right.
Yeah, because this sounds like you were like following him around and taking him through the malls and stuff. So you were actually doing some bodyguard work too.
Yeah, a little bit.
Marge?
Yes.
Are you hiring?
No, I'm not. I get asked that a lot by other company drivers, and unfortunately, no.
There goes my shot.
Epic tales from the front seat, courtesy of Executive Transportation. Hey, coming up next in just a couple of seconds, when you're talking about visiting like historic monuments like Graceland or the Overlook Hotel in Colorado or like
Graceland
George
really-
Washington's home, it's a national
Graceland
monument.
historic? Is it?
1960 is old.
There's one in San Francisco where I'm going to show you coming up next.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. And by Columbus Travel, the best travel deals on the planet. Be sure to take advantage of our April sale. columbusvacations.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin Morning Stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com?
I think it was Lincoln's house we went to. Hi, welcome back. We're talking about famous houses a lot of people go and see, and I've been to Lincoln's house, I've been to George Washington, I've been to Jefferson's.
I've been to Thoreau's little cottage where he wrote most of his novels about simplicity.
Walden Pond.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Uh-huh.
Ben Franklin's is amazing. Remember that clock that actually goes through the floor?
Right.
It was really, really cool. And I went to see the Overlook Hotel, and Todd mocks me for this. This is one in Colorado where they shot The Shining.
Oh, right.
And it's just as creepy as you think it is.
If
Totally.
If I had twin girls, I would rent them out so they could walk down the hallways and just walk around, maybe have a tricycle on its side. It's like, yeah, the extras stay there. Yeah, that'd be good. What?
You're so creepy.
It's hilarious.
But you would. I guess I'm a little bit surprised because of all the places that you could go in San Francisco, like all the painted ladies' houses and all those things. People are flocking to one specific place.
Well, let's just show you a picture of this beautiful hilly. No, that's so cool.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Does it remind you
What is that sign in the
of anything? Wait, look at the building. And this is
Oh,
kind
that's the Full House, right?
That is the Full House
With
house.
Mary Kate and Ashley being
I
all babies
see.
and stuff, and Uncle Jesse and.
Bottom left-hand corner, there is a poster. Can you read that, Erin?
To the fans of Full House, Fuller House, we love you, but please respect our nice neighbors in our quiet street. No double parking, no loitering, no loud talking, no littering, no blocking driveways. Can't blame them there. Be quick and courteous. Don't make anyone say how rude. That's kind of a nice way to put it, because I'm sure they get sick of it.
Does that many people go to see the Full House?
You would
house?
No, you would be surprised. You would be surprised. Every girl had a crush on Uncle Jesse.
Uncle Jesse, what's his real name? Anyway, he was grunged up a little bit with a beard and stuff, and he went and stood by the house and no one recognized him.
Well, we were thinking, though, since these big, important houses that get a lot of visitors
like
nice notes like those.
Like, we don't live that life,
Uh-huh.
and we have people constantly, so we put this up because I think this, yeah, go ahead.
Welcome to our home. Feel free to drop some change in the bucket for the kids' college fund. No nudity, no music, no peeing in the bushes.
There you go.
Yeah,
Classy.
Yeah, it was elegant. It was short. I thought it was well thought out.
Right. Don't make us say rude.
How rude.
There is no reason that I'm going to show you the next three pictures. No reason except for look at them.
Okay, what am I looking
here
at?
Here we go. Baby
Oh,
octopus.
it's a little baby octopus. Oh my
Don't
God,
do
it's
the
so
high
darling.
voice.
I can't help
no
it.
one
It's
can
a
hear
baby.
you.
I know. I'm only understood by bees when I get that.
Here's
high
another
How
one.
Cute. Oh,
Oh.
look at his little delicate tentacles.
Right.
Oh my God, he is so cute.
So
Oh my God, look
they're
how cute.
born like ready to go.
Oh, how precious.
One more, please.
Oh, that's so cute. Look at its little
Is that
delicate
cool?
tentacles. That is the most precious thing ever in this world.
Oh, there's only one thing bad about that. The thing's choking for air right now. Get him back in the water.
That was so cute.
All
There's
right.
nothing more adorable than baby animals, except for baby Pokemon.
So
I never evolved my Pokemon when they're babies because they're so precious.
Don't play Pokemon.
And just like real life, they get all big and ugly and have acne if you evolve them anyway. So
They're
why?
smelly. All right,
That's
so
true. Now, why?
let me do this. Let me do
Okay,
this.
explain why you think this is so funny.
Some of the gang here and that we work with are great people. Most of them. You figure it out.
Careful.
We're talking the other day because we text each other a lot, and friends do this. And Erin has a skill of how to read text, and sometimes you don't communicate if you're being sarcastic or if you're being like really happy, and it doesn't really come through.
You can tell why emoticons were invented because people are trying to go, I was smiling when I wrote this, I swear.
Here, pull up your.
Okay, admittedly, I think I'm probably more defensive than most, so I automatically assume they're trying to insult me.
I'm going to direct this. Now, we're going to start off with happy Erin, and then we're going to go to evil Erin. All right?
Basically, the intent of
Happy.
the text, right?
Yeah, read.
Hey, this is Jennifer, who's our sister and best friend and lived in our basement for a year. Hey, we've made plans with Jill and Jared for Wednesday at Kitty Papa's. They talked about that place in Bountiful. We've talked about that.
Stop. Go evil.
We haven't heard back from you guys yet, so just wanted you to know that we will be there. And if you guys can make it, that would be awesome.
Stop. Go good.
And if not, we'll do it again in the future when you can. Oh, just a heads up. If you are able to join us for dinner at Kitty Papa's tonight, Jill and Jared had to push back the time to 6:30. And that's always how I assume people are saying it to me, is they're being mean every time. And Todd will go, now say that in a nice voice. And I'm like, I don't want to, I'm sure.
No,
I'm
I actually said, oh, so-and-so's being snotty. And I went, let me hear it. Wow. And I go, no, do it in the nice voice. Do it in the nice voice.
I think the mean voice is always most accurate. Well, I'm sorry, I do.
And so.
Okay, now I've got a problem, and if you're on Facebook Live with us this morning, or you catch us later in the day, please add in your 2 cents because this is killing me. So
by the way, you can catch this anytime you want.
24/7, yeah.
Right.
Zoe, who is our 6-year-old, crawled up on my lap yesterday, and I was like, "Oh crap, this is going to be a talk, isn't it?" You know, because I'm so ill prepared for those parental moments. It's not even funny.
Do I know about this?
I think you were trying to listen in, and she goes, "Dad, this is between Mom and me."
That's the only part I heard.
I know. And so I felt awful though because she crawled up on my lap, and I guess she had been watching Nickelodeon, and they talked about Sisters Day, that, you know, you love your sisters and you celebrate. And
what?
I love Jenny and Julie, my sisters, with all my heart, so I get it.
Right.
But she was, and Tamara, my beloved Tamara, but she was talking about,
what?
Why don't I get to have a sister? And I'm looking at her going,
what?
And she said, could we adopt a sister? And I said, well, number one, I appreciate the fact that you knew I was never going to get pregnant again. So, you know, bonus points for that, Zoe. But I do feel bad now because she's like, I really want a sister. And I said, tell me why. And she said, I'm lonely.
Oh.
Because, you know, Zachy and McLean are 10 years older than her.
Yeah.
And Zachy will occasionally be pinned down and you know, do stuff like play
Another
wounded
baby?
victim. And so, yeah. Could I have another baby?
This is a word I don't know how to say, evidently, and it's no.
See, the trouble
I've been
is
practicing.
Zoe knows me well because once I hold a baby, it's like I have to talk my hormones down like a hostage negotiator. It's like, no, I could totally do this again. I could have another baby. I could totally have another baby. It'll be great. It'll be good. And then I'm thinking, 18 years. Think about it. 18 years. Walk away. But hearing her say that, let me finish. Hearing her say that made me feel really badly, though, because you didn't see her face. She's like, but I'm lonely.
Ugh.
And I was trying to say, could we have friends that are close? Or she's like, why can't you give me a sister? And I'm like,
oh, I had no idea you were talking about this.
I mean, it was killing me.
Because, this started off with she wanted another dog like a couple months back.
Yeah, I don't know. Didn't get that one at all.
So adding to the family.
So I don't know how to nicely tell her there's just not a chance in HE double hockey sticks. The kid's getting another sibling, but I feel her face, her little face.
Well,
what do you do when your kids ask
dates.
for siblings?
More play dates, I guess.
I don't think it's the same. I get her.
I tell you what we can do.
How about if we have another baby?
No. How about this? How about we get another child? Okay, it's her same age.
Oh, that wouldn't be any fun.
And then what we do is when they turn 16, we have them fight it out for the college fund. Just full out octagon. WWE.
Just imagine what we get on paper.
Can you see? Can you see the elbows flying?
It's battle for Boston College. Right. Yeah, that's perfect.
Mom, I need some help.
Carry the chair.
You know the chair. You're smacking your own daughter in the back of the head with a folding chair.
This really devolved quickly, didn't it?
So I had no idea you guys were talking about this.
Oh, it broke my heart. Just to see her face, because I get it. You know, Zachy and Claney are older, and it's not the same thing.
The answer is still no.
No, but it made me sad.
It made me
sad,
too.
I don't know how people... How do you explain this to your child who wants a sibling, that it's not going to happen without being the most horrible parent in the world?
Let's get her.
Because I'm already the most horrible parent in the world. I really don't need more of that.
We already gave her that doll that poops, so.
Yeah, that was a great Christmas moment.
Something happened. Something happened right here in Utah.
I have to say, I am taking offense with Utah's Hogle Zoo for only one reason. Because you remember the incredible nationwide international coverage that poor April, the pregnant giraffe, got in New York. You were hopelessly addicted. And they
15 months.
They just busted out a baby zebra. Zoe the zebra gave birth to a little baby. The cutest thing in the freaking world. Look, she's so tiny. Look at her.
Don't do the high voice.
I can't help it. It's a baby. Look at that precious little face. Now, it's actually a Hartman's Mountain Zebra. Now, we know it's a girl. No one's picked a name yet. They want to go African because of her heritage.
Right,
that kind of a style of a name. But they say no Z's because dad's name is Ziggy and mom is Zoe. And it's like, it's a zebra.
Right.
So this is kind of cool, though. She was naturally bred. Because, you know, a lot of times in zoos, they do a lot of artificial insemination to try to, you know, kind of get the species going again.
So,
she's precious. But she was natural. But this is interesting. I hadn't realized this. Zebras are like a prey species. I mean...
They're food.
Yeah, we've seen all the documentaries. Because they are a prey species, the minute the baby comes out of the mama, they hit the ground running.
It was quick. She was born within an hour, And within an hour after birth, she was up and running and kicking. She weighed, we're guessing, around 75 pounds at birth. We weighed her a couple of days later and she weighed 80 pounds. And we weighed her yesterday and she weighs 104 pounds. So she's gaining weight well. These zebra are found in mountainous territories, so they have very small herds, 1 male to maybe 3 to 5 females. And the dads don't really have a lot to do with the care of the young. They do have other females in their harem. So the females take care of the young solely, and they're fairly mature by the time they're 2 years old.
I want to
that's really
snuggle
cute.
that baby zebra so bad that
Excuse me.
the fillings are hurting in my teeth. I
If
mean,
they
I
had
want to hug her that
They had
badly.
sponsored that. They could have bought enough hay to last the elephants 10 years.
I know. I can't believe they didn't pop the camera up at the last minute because that would have been awesome.
All right.
Did you realize that they live for up to 25 years?
I had no idea.
And that you can see these and other zebras in the African Savannah exhibit
There
at
you go.
Utah's Hogle Zoo.
Well, you guys go see that. Thanks
Oh,
for
she's
watching
so
and listening
precious.
today. It is the Todd and Erin Morning Stream on Gephardt Daily.
Look at her. She's so
.com.
cute.